Over 10 years ago, billionaire real estate developer Stephen Ross, his business partner Ken Himmel, and renowned chef Thomas Keller cooked up a revolutionary concept that elevated the retail restaurant model. With the Time Warner Center here in New York, they brought together the largest collection of Michelin stars under one roof. Well, today, Ross, Himmel, and Keller are teaming up once again to curate the restaurant collection at Hudson Yards. It's another step in the plan to remake the once industrial Hudson Yards area into one of the greatest shopping and dining districts in the world. So I caught up, as you can see there, with the trio for an interview at Per Se in the Time Warner Center. Have you ever been to that restaurant? Ooh, is it gorgeous? To talk about upping the ante at Hudson Yards.
In 30 years of doing this, meaning putting restaurant collections, if you will, and selecting great chefs and restaurateurs and real estate projects, nothing's ever worked better than the relationship amongst the three of us sitting here. So right away, you say to yourself, no one has more respect in this industry than Thomas. And so if what we really want to do is curate a collection of great chefs and restaurateurs to come into Hudson Yards, that's how we started all this. That's the way to start. And that's what Hudson Yards is going to be all about, which is it's not Michelin 3-star. We've done all that. This is about very active, high-energy, great designed restaurants and multiple cuisines. So when you come to Hudson Yards, there are going to be 12 selections to pick from. Thomas will be leading the group, and we have another major announcement that Thomas and we will make here in probably the next 30 days.
You know, it sounds like you don't want to have a Per Se level, you know, that level type of restaurant at Hudson Yards, but why not? Isn't there a market for that there?
Well, downtown's a little different here than uptown. I think it's perceived that way. I think you know, life has kind of changed a little bit for some people, you know, and, you know, you're getting more of the millennials downtown and the attraction of what you see downtown with the tech and the more casual lifestyle that they have. And I think that this is what Hudson Yards is.
You're basically saying they can't afford it.
No, not at all today. I mean, today, you know, it's like so much more looser atmosphere and environment.
It's more casual.
Totally more casual. You can see just by the appearance when they go to work that you know, life is that way.
So it's going to be a more casual atmosphere. It's going to be geared more towards millennials. Tell me a little bit about how it fits with the whole concept of Hudson Yards and where you're at there.
Well, I mean, I think, you know, Hudson Yards is really taking New York and really what it will be in the 21st century and creating what it will be then. And it's you can see where everything is moving towards. And I think, you know, we're kind of like changing the center of gravity, which today you might call it Rockefeller Center, and I believe it'll be Hudson Yards. You will not want to come to New York City without visiting Hudson Yards.
The three of you are so creative, right? I mean, you know, so I'm curious, you know, Chef, I mean, with you, like when you think about, okay, I'm going to do a collection of restaurants at Hudson Yards, like what do you start with? Like what is your creative process?
Yeah, I think really about the diversification of the cuisines. And we want to be able to offer, you know, the individuals that are coming to Hudson Yards a great variety to choose from. But also not just a great variety of cuisines to choose from, but a great variety of experience to choose from as well. So whether, you know, it's a quick, simple meal where they can go in a half an hour, or something that's a little more elaborate where they can spend an hour and a half or 2 hours in a dining room, so that they have the opportunity, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, late night, to really be able to enjoy a variety of different experiences.
Ken, walk me through how this whole process started about getting Thomas Keller to think about Hudson Yards. And I mean, was this something that had been planned in the works for years? You had already thought about it for a while. I mean, give me a sense of the process.
It started probably 12 or 13 years ago when Steve Ross and I had dinner at the French Laundry. And I'll never forget, we were actually, Thomas had to excuse himself because he was in the middle of some phone calls with some of our competitors as they were negotiating for him to come to New York. So it became quite clear we were competing amongst 3 projects, and Thomas had to pick which group which partner he wanted to have and where he wanted to come. Fortunately for us, we got selected, and I mean, that's the beginning of the relationship.
How'd you convince him?
The same way that we convinced, and it didn't take much convincing on Hudson Yards. I mean, the inspiration for this project at Columbus Circle, I mean, it was so compelling. I mean, it was really the right thing at the right time, done by all the right people. And so it was a great fit. We were comfortable with each other. We believed, you know, we could really make it work.
I mean, I think the commonality is that we want to be best in class, no matter what we do. And I think that's one vision we all share.
Give me, I just want some basic
Yep.
facts. I mean, when are the restaurants going to open? Like, how's the rollout going to be? Give me a sense of that.
Well, we're looking at fall of 2018
Okay.
for the
And
restaurants,
boom, like they're all
retail.
gonna-
All
Okay.
opens,
so
everything opens
simultaneously.
together.
Yeah, kind of like we did here at Time Warner Center
Okay.
when we opened Time Warner
Okay.
Center. Yeah.
Okay,
But we have the first office building opening up in 16, you know, in the spring of 16. So therefore, and then it'll be followed by the retail, the residential, hotel, and the tower, the large tower, because it is so much bigger,
Right.
will open up in the beginning of 19.